Captain's Log Supplemental.
Hey Jeremy, you know those race cars you're busy building?
Yeah, I do. I
You,
got one that I'm looking at every day.
you know what I don't see you working on?
You don't see me working on the amazing Sentinel system yet.
That's true. It would take all of 10 minutes for you to have one.
And it's very quick and easy to install.
It is. It is. And we could watch you when we are not at the race with you and see how you're doing. And then we can call you up when you get out of the car and tell you everything you did wrong.
And I love that because so many years I've been driving and not been able to see what I'm doing.
I know.
And now we can.
I know. You know what I'd like to do with the video? My most favorite thing is I take the video and I load it on YouTube and then I send it to my coach and say, look at 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Look at this one lap and tell me what I can do better. And every single time, you know what they say?
Everything.
Exactly. Precisely. So with the Sentinel system, you get instantaneous feedback plus useful feedback that unfortunately is accurate for my driving.
I think it's accurate for all of our driving.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep. But you need to get one in your car, sir.
Yes, I do. And with the discount code that you're going to tell everybody, they can save 10% on this awesome system.
Yep. Trouble-free. I haven't had an issue getting video every time we've gone out with the Sentinel. It's always worked. Can't say the same for some of the other systems we've tried. So I don't know. It's on the podcast notes down there. Don't do it while you're driving, though. We like to have our listeners live. It's good.
From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training Podcast. This one's going to be a good one or a total show. We don't know. TBD. Who else is hosting?
I'm Vicki.
I am Jeremy.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Audra.
We are. We can't even do the host right. This is going to be terrible.
Well, who are you?
I
You
don't
didn't even
know.
introduce yourself.
I'm looking at how many people we have on this Zoom call, and I'm just planning on, yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm Bill still. So, you know why I do the intros? Because as bad as I do them, they're still the only one that people volunteer for. So, Jeremy, you were honorary producer for many, many moons, and you set this one up. So, why don't you roll the intro on who's our guestesses?
I am super excited tonight. We have a couple of teams on tonight that I've become friends with. Most here become friends with over the last 5-6 years. Super awesome people. And both teams on tonight have done something that they've been striving to do for quite a while and finally made it happen at NJMP. They've both been bridesmaids many, many times, and they finally did it this time at NJMP. Got the boys from Slow and Mello, number 95. All of you guys probably know that car as the newly themed Toy Story car.
Oh.
And then we've got the boys from the Brooklyn Bomb Squad. You guys all know that car. It's the three-wheel Volkswagen Rabbit. It's red and a bunch of super cool people. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Who's here?
Slow and Mello, you want to go first?
Sure. My name's John.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Nicole.
Crew Chief Nicole.
And technical advisor to get Ethan on the Zoom call. So
Yeah.
that's what happens. Bomb Squad report.
My name's Jay. I'm the de facto captain of the bomb squad. Derek?
I'm Derek. We're missing Mark Andrew and John Cooper. The other two knuckleheads.
Yeah, we got 2 out of 4 of us.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So we have the Brooklyn squad or the Bomb Squad. Which one are we going with today?
Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad. Very well. So many of our listeners are not local. Everybody in the local East Coast Lemons crowd knows exactly who you guys are and what car you guys are running each. So just to refresh everybody, why don't we give Jay a break since he's kind of still commuting home from work and was honoring us with his presence. Derek, what kind of car are you guys running? What are you doing with your car? Where is it?
Car's at Cooper's house. We have I don't know what year it is. It's a GTI Rabbit. What year is it?
83. Jesus Christ.
83. Look, I just break it. So that's my job.
Well, you did poorly at the last race, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
God.
this was kind of like, they were performing exorcisms for a few months trying to get me to stop driving so terribly. But yeah, I just stopped.
That's awesome. And Ethan, we have co-shared a fellow team of a Civic crowd that actually did well for once and didn't have to replace the entire engine. Just had to do about 15 head gaskets this weekend. But we know your car. But what would you describe your car as?
92 Acura Integra.
Ooh.
That's a very
cheaty.
nice, very cheaty. That's definitely an A car. I don't know what you were doing in B, but you're not there anymore. Foreshadowing.
What motor's in that Integra?
Got a B20 VTEC right now.
Oh, so it's really not that cheaty.
Yo.
VTEC, yo.
It's been through how many motors, John? 7, 8?
Oh, I lost count.
Yeah.
Since what, 2022? I don't even remember how many motors we've been through.
2022, we had a string of 5 consecutive races with blown up motors. So,
So what was the reason for you guys losing your motors mostly?
Honda.
Overdriving your car?
Probably a combination of too many RPMs and a heavy foot and
Junkyard parts.
Honda.
A few.
We know that well.
Failures.
Jeremy.
1 second, I'll be right back.
Jeremy, you keep claiming Honda and you drive a BMW, or you wish you drove a BMW. So I would refrain from foreshadowing your own poor karma, sir.
It's still in pieces right there.
Yeah, that BMW doesn't even exist.
Yes.
What BMW?
We've heard rumors. I've heard parts get
That's
delivered.
just casing.
Is that a lift kit or are those just jack stands?
That's
right.
a lift kit.
He's got a shell filled with boxes. All right. So we're going to try to do 2 teams, 1 race, both went successfully. So let's go with prep. Was there any major prep required on the Bomb Squad car going into this race, or did you guys escape the last one fairly unscathed?
It was fairly unscathed. Is Jay?
Mostly. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it was mostly
Hold on.
unscathed. Just like some
love
shift link. He's setting up the shot for you guys. Like
Is
I
he?
could just see it already.
I'm sure.
No, we had smaller issues on the last couple races, but nothing catastrophic. So it was more about us than the car for the last couple races. I mean, mainly me for the last 2. With some mechanical failure, but I had a couple incidents. Well, not only just me, but Mark Andrew. Everyone had a little bit of contact in certain races, and it just led to us being in the penalty box way too much.
What
Wait, are
was
you
some of
talking-
what were
Sorry,
some of the
Vicki.
main issues that your car was having? just in general over the I've seen you guys
had problems.
Yeah, I've been watching you on YouTube and doing your thing, but and you're always under the hood. So just curious, what were some of the struggles your car was having mostly?
Like it was all self-inflicted accidents. Like most of it wasn't motor trouble. Like the one time we lost our lead at NJMP last year, Thompson, sorry, we blew a oil cooler line.
Oh well, yeah, that was New Jersey.
That was New Jersey, yeah.
Five laps up.
Yeah, so like these last couple races was, I got into contact with someone and bent some parts, and we had to come in and fix it. Mark Andrew hit someone, bent some parts. I got back out, bent some parts. So it was just us fighting ourselves more than like the other cars, really.
So did you find yourself you had to take a step back?
Yeah, I mean,
just a little bit.
It's the ironic part is like you feel counterproductive slowing down. Like you feel like that's not the play, but in reality is like just those like fraction of seconds each lap over the course of 2 days builds you a buffer, and if you can just race towards the end of the race, I was giving everyone point buys. I'm just like, go around me, and I'm just like making sure no one rear ends me if I brake too hard, or like I was more afraid of getting in contact and than anything else, really, because that's what screwed us up the last couple races. That was the reality of it.
So Slow and Mellow, you guys were tipping the karma pot pretty hard by helping out fellow Honda friends of ours that were coming on. Hopefully we got them scheduled for this week. Waka Motorsports. And but how about your car coming in? You guys come in pretty good, or did you have to do anything major?
It was pretty minor stuff after Pittsburgh, just tires and fluids, alignment check. Nothing
we had to put the new exhaust on.
Yeah, we did put a new exhaust.
Fell off.
That's right. We lost an exhaust the end of Pittsburgh, but that didn't really hurt as much. But that was an easy.
How do you lose an exhaust?
Well,
what did you hit?
John, what did you hit?
I didn't hit anything. It was just like the hanger cracked off the pipe, and it was dragging the ground for quite a while.
On the topic of
there was only half a muffler left as we pulled off the track, so
you just wanted
we were shaving it down for a while.
Louder car.
So can you guys let all the listeners know how you did your exhaust on your Honda? Because car seems to be loud enough and sound good, whereas a lot of the other Hondas on track are like ear-piercing loud. Can you give a little hint to the listeners so that they can kind of fix their Honda so they don't sound
weird? What are you trying to say?
We drive an F14. I don't know what he's talking about.
I drive a truck.
Yeah, it's gotten louder, at least in car. We put just a universal Summit Racing muffler on it, and we put a resonator in it to try and help out some of the interior drone noise, but that didn't even actually seem to help.
Okay. Oh. Listen, Mr. Hall, of the cars on here that were driven at NJMP, you're the only rear-wheel drive car, so you just better back off there, buddy.
I drove front-wheel drive at this race.
Yeah, that's true. You did.
With a welded diff to boot.
Now that would be something. Which car drive with a welded diff? That would be a mess.
Which car has a welded diff?
The truck. El Jefe.
When did you weld the diff?
No, it came welded.
Why do you think I keep saying I want to swap and put a limited slip in it?
I don't know if I saw that. Have I heard that?
That truck's been around.
Oh yeah. It's been around for a long time.
The only limited slip in that car is when it rains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a welded diff.
Miss Audra?
So that makes more sense how Jonah broke the axle then a couple years ago.
Yona
Yeah.
broke something?
Didn't he break an axle 2 years ago? Or
Oh, he broke the end of he broke it right off. Tire and hub and everything
Axle.
disappeared. It took off down the track. Yeah, it was epic.
That's when we needed to have video.
Yep.
yeah,
Fantastic.
We had to, Derek, you had a strategy to slow down, be more deliberate. Ethan and Jonathan and Nicole, did you have some type of strategy going in that helped you actually, place this time?
We always kind of have one strategy, and we try not to defer from it. But we always just look at Saturday as you got to make it through Saturday. There's nothing to win Saturday, so the car's got to be able to start the race on Sunday to have a chance. So that's really the way we race most of our races.
I'm sorry, Ethan. You didn't get the memo that the first lap is when you win the race. You must complete the first lap and set the fastest lap is the key to winning the race. I mean,
yeah. No.
Lap 1, turn 1.
Exactly.
Saturday's just all traffic management.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Making smart decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So is this the first time you've been back to New Jersey since it was repaved? Did you, how did you feel about that?
I really liked turn 1. The track surface overall was good. I felt there was a couple of weird spots in that first chicane. What is it, like 3-4 there?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
3, yep.
Yeah, there was a little weirdness there, but overall, I like the improvement in turn 1 being wider, carry more speed.
It almost felt bumpy going into the chicane and coming out of the chicane. If you did the track walk, you could see
yes,
yeah,
4-foot strip of something they did that I don't know what that was, but it was.
It almost seems like a rubber sealant or something that they put down.
Yeah. It was deliberate.
We didn't do the track walk. We were fixing cars.
What do you think, Ethan?
I really like the entrance to turn 1, not having the wall on the inside blinding you from seeing what's coming around the blind exit that used to be there. So that
on turn 1, you said?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that let you carry a lot more speed, more confident into 1 and not worry about that inside wall and somebody hiding behind it. But yeah, no, we had recognized that those weird sealant patches on the track walk, and they were kind of rough and bumpy. But other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the whole track paved, the new surface felt great, and turn 1 was great. For our car, it's super helpful to be able to carry a lot of speed into a turn because we have very little horsepower, and it's all momentum with that car. Just slight brakes, as little braking as possible, and just keeping in as much speed into every turn as you can. The car handles great. It's just, you pass people in the turns, and then you go down the straight, and then you're boned. They just drive right by you. It's like cat and mouse all the laps.
Every time. Yeah.
So for the home gamers, I just want to make sure that everybody's aware that there's this thing called classes in Lemons, and there's A, B, and C. And in C is kind of the cars that are kind of slow and maybe won't make it to the end of the race. Now, this little whiny little J over here who's complaining about how his car is just a momentum car and has nothing else, beat everybody in C class by 12 seconds a lap.
Oh my gosh.
Don't feel bad for him nursing this. Oh, it's my car. I just can't slow down because I can only beat the cars by 10 seconds if I have to slow down. Anyway, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, so
did I interrupt?
So here's the story of us in C class. I think 5 races ago, we were in New Hampshire. We went through tech. We had been in B class with our car since we basically had it. So I think maybe 7 or 8 races, in B class with the Rabbit. And the Rabbit's quick. It's really fun. When it stays together, we have a shot. It's got a big fuel cell. What gives us a bigger shot is when we have 3 drivers and everybody drives a really good, clean race. And that never happens. Just doesn't happen for us. There's always someone or something that happens. No names at all. I don't know which side he's on, but
I'm behind
so Eric. So I've known Eric Rude for a long time after having been racing for a long time in Lemons, and he said to us at New Hampshire a couple years ago, he's like, "All right, I'm going to put you guys in C class. You just got to get a win." And I was like, "No problem, we got this."
You guys need a moral boost.
and we went on to completely destroy the transmission that race, where we needed a completely rebuilt transmission. Thank God the limited slip that we have in there wasn't destroyed also. And then it was just every race, something would happen. And I think this was our 5th race in C class. And the last 2 races, we were super close to, having it happen. Pittsburgh, we had one mechanical thing, and then we had just a bunch of, black flags at some point where, if I look back at the times and the results, I can add up the amount of time that we probably were off track. And it was like 5 laps. And that's what we lost by in Pittsburgh. So we knew coming in to Jersey, we had a really good shot, because that Lincoln Continental that won in Pittsburgh probably wasn't going to be at Jersey in C class. And we really talked about, like, driving clean, like we don't need to go 100%, and the car was in great shape. Cooper and I got it prepped and ready to go in like a couple of days. Changed a couple things. We did completely take out the warm-up regulator, which, if anybody knows the CIS system in Volkswagen, it's like the thing that maintains control fuel pressure, which is like the pressure for the whole system. We decided, we'll just take that out and put in a pressure regulator. We don't need a warm-up regulator. We don't warm anything up. We just race. So we did that, and it actually worked out pretty well. We were able to dial in the fuel pressure to exactly where we wanted it, so that we have a wideband O2 sensor in the car, so we could monitor the air fuel ratio and not be too rich, not be too lean, because we were running real lean prior to putting that in. But it was great. Everything, like the car ran like 180 degrees coolant temp the entire race. Good oil pressure the entire time. I think we went through a half a quart of oil the entire race. So the motor's tight right now, at least, and I guess they'll take it to Thompson and see what happens. Hopefully not the same as last year, but it was fun. And now, like, I'm looking forward to being done with C class and get on and move on back to B class and see what happens. There's all sorts of talk going on behind the scenes at Brooklyn Bomb Squad in terms of like, what are we going to do now? We got to get a new chassis. We got to get a new roll cage. Let's go to an 07K. Let's go to a turbo. Like, it's just a bunch of nonsense being talked. And we should just get in the car, drive it, see what it does, and let it rip.
So you had some lessons that were learned this time around in C class. Is your car like a solid B car? And do you think that applying what you learned would elevate you up through B?
I think we probably drove the best race we've ever driven with that car the way it is, with 3 drivers. We could pretty much drive 3 hours with our fuel cell.
Okay.
So one of the limiting factors is John, who's one of the other guys, he's 6'4", and the cage was built for a guy like me, like 5'8". So watching him getting in and out of the car, God forbid anything ever really goes wrong, it'll be an insanity watching him try to get out of that thing quickly. I think with the laps that we made, I think we would have finished 6th in B class. And that was with us running the absolute perfect race. So it's, it probably won't win B class, but it'll compete. It'll be fun. It'll get in people's way a little bit. A little more power, and who knows, something, maybe we can get somewhere in B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Buy arm restraints and cut the roof off, Sasha style.
Could do that.
For sure.
No, there seems like there was definitely some lessons learned for you guys, and just as you were saying earlier, was backing off, even though it does seem counterproductive, to elevate yourself through the pack.
Yeah, I think
it's a marathon.
Yeah, I mean, like day one, Saturday, it's see how far up we can get in the standings, not get stay out of trouble. And then when we started Sunday, I think 12 laps up in C class, it was our race to win and our race to lose. And I don't like prevent defense. In football, I think it's bullshit. So we still talked about like, okay, let's dial it back. Let's be conservative. Let's not get too crazy. And so Derek and I think we're on the same page. Cooper goes out first. He runs the fastest lap of the whole weekend. Cooper, he's never run the fastest lap ever.
In his entire life.
148.
Even in an HPDE, he's never run the fastest lap.
We love John.
Derek and I are literally sitting in the garage, like, checking race monitor, eating, drinking, like, trying to stay sane and not go crazy. And I'm like, he just turned a 148. What part of drive risk-free conservatively didn't he get?
That's really good for that track of 148 in your style car. That's amazing.
Yeah, with the new pavement, I think I ran a 149 on Saturday, but like Saturday we were pushing it. We were doing stuff. We were trying to make things happen still. But yeah, we were in total like conservative, save the car mode, get the car to the next guy mode on Saturday.
Butts and seats.
And he runs a 148. We were like, what?
Yeah, it's wild. I think we did run into one issue though, Jay. I remember the last few minutes of Saturday. There was a lot of vibration, every time I would make a right, like, or go right with the car. And we found out that what happened to the tire?
Well, we have coilovers up front, and the height adjustability, the collar on that part of the coilover had come loose. And so there was play in the coilover, and it completely disintegrated the inside of the tire, like a brand new Yokohama, whatever they are, like expensive tires. So we went to some old used Kumo tires after that.
Yeah, but I knew there was something wrong with the tire, and like every time there's like the smallest thing, and you get on the radio, they're like, "Jay's like, bring it in," and I'm just like, "Look, if I could just like tone it back another 5%, limp across today, we'll get the car in, and he'll fix it." Like I was like, "That's it." So like that's exactly what happened. I was like, "Dude, there's bad vibration. We have to check." He took the wheel off, and it was like done. That's the second time that's happened in that car.
Yeah. So what are some of the general weakness? Like every car has its weakness. What is the general weakness of the Rabbit?
Power.
Yeah, power probably. But like as far as mechanical reliability, you're asking?
Yeah.
I think for 4 years we've been racing it, maybe 13 or 14 races. We've blown up one motor.
Mm-hmm.
We've overheated a couple times, but that was user error, not getting the appropriate coolant in without, with the additional bubbles that go in with that. But we've had transmission issues, I would say, and linkage. The Mark I Volkswagen linkage is really, Jeremy, you can probably chime in on that, is just brutally bad. And like we have a Mark II that we've built, and we're going to be, debuting probably in New Hampshire. Just the Mark II Golf linkage is light years ahead of that, and it's not even good. But
what year is your car?
83.
Okay. Wow. So how hard is it for you to find parts for it?
It's the Rabbit, the Volkswagen GTI, the Mark I was a super, super popular car. and it shared a lot of parts with the regular Rabbit. And there's not much on our car that's regular anymore anyway. So in terms of head, valves, camshafts, intake manifold, all that stuff's been messed with. The only thing that's completely bone stock is the block. And that's it really. I mean, and the transmission, although we do have a limited slip in it. So I would say the block and the pistons are completely stock, and everything else has been tampered with.
Fondled.
You know? Yeah. Yeah. Easy, Derek. Easy.
Jay always fondles things at the wrong time.
So question for the Slow and Mellow group. What did you do in your racing that what did you have to change to get to that victory in B class?
Stop letting them give us so many penalty laps.
Ah.
So better
bribe them with.
Yeah.
Yeah, better theme. Better bribes. Because I mean we've been in B a decent amount. They actually put us in A in our rookie race when we first started.
Really? And what year is your car?
92.
Okay.
How many races on that car?
Oh boy, let's see.
Well, you just replaced this chassis, what, 6 races ago, right?
No, this chassis was new in the beginning of 2022, so it's got like 5-6 races a year since 22, so it's probably 10, 11 races on it now. But yeah, we had been in B plenty of times before, and we were always bribing and taking penalty laps and still getting smoked by faster cars. So they used to make fun of us because our last theme was a race car theme instead of a theme. So this year we themed a little harder and begged a little more for less penalty laps and finally had a chance. So
yeah,
we knew talk a little bit about your theme.
The Toy Story RC car is the theme, Andy's little RC car. But yeah, it was just a crazy idea that I thought of just from.
I do remember driving up behind you.
Yeah, everybody was coming up to me at the end of the day and saying that when they came up on us and saw Andy on the back of the car, they just
and
laughed.
Buzz Lightyear too, right?
And Buzz Lightyear and Woody on the wing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, I thought it was a cool theme because it's something that like all the kids go crazy when they see it. So it makes people happy. So that's what it's all about.
I need to step in here, Miss Vicki. You said when you caught up to the car, you never caught up to that car. That car was passing us.
All right, yeah. Well, that car, okay, that car dove in front of me a couple times. How about that?
Under yellow, Vicki, under yellow.
That's right. That's right. I was huffing it.
Got a little single jingle. They got a little B20.
Jeremy was trying to keep up on Saturday.
That was when he passed his own car in the race, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying like a son of a gun. I could tell.
It just didn't have any more. I kept going. I wish I had more power. I wish I had more power. I wish I had more power. Because as soon as we got on the straights, you would pull away, and then we got back to the corners, and I would catch back up right there with you, and then all of a sudden, there you go down the straight.
Indeed.
So have you done any cheaty tricks to that thing like Jay has to the GTI?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well,
besides, go ahead.
Did the 92 Integra come with a 16 valve motor, a 1.8 16 valve motor?
Yes, non-VTEC.
Yeah.
The VTEC just fell in. It's not their fault. It just happened.
Right.
We get the B20 that just fell in, and the VTEC just fell on. So you know.
Yeah, it's just a B18 when it grows up. So
yeah, I mean, as we get older, we get heavier and bigger.
It's a 92, and now it's all grown up, and it's a 2-liter.
It's a dad bod V18. That's all it is.
It's like the heart of a 2000.
It's the Dennis Rodman excuse. I don't know how the engine got there; it just fell through the ceiling.
Landed right in the car.
That's right. It just fits. Who knew? That's fine. It's all good.
But in all seriousness, this motor is actually the least modified motor I think we've ever run.
And that's why it stayed together.
Right.
That's why it's got 4 top 10s in a row.
There you go.
But after that year where we blew up 5 in a row, we were thinking about doing other things, and we had enough spare parts left to throw this thing together, and John actually slapped most of it together himself, and it just works. It makes some rattly noises in the top end, but it keeps on chugging along.
Yeah, you can't let the magic out. Just gotta leave it in there, ignore the noises, and
Yep, it's a VTEC motor that burns like no oil, so we don't know, but there's some sort of magic in this one.
Don't touch it. Yeah, don't do
Aside
a
from
thing to
your,
it.
yeah, aside
Definitely
from
put a turbo on it.
Definitely turbo it. But
We're gonna
That's a
need it.
gr-
We're gonna need that now to win Class A. So you never know; it might be worth a shot.
look, the word turbo has been tossed around in the Brooklyn Bomb Squad chats. Like, okay, we'll say full mechanical injection, still CIS, and we'll just put like a little turbo on it. You know, I think we have a turbo manifold somewhere. Like, we'll just do it. It'll be great.
What could go wrong?
How hard could it be?
You don't have $8,000, not for endurance racing.
So what engine do you have in it?
In which?
In
the Integra.
It's a B20 with a VTEC head on it.
So because I'm totally not a Honda guy. I literally know nothing about Hondas.
Mm-hmm.
What are like the specs on that motor? Like, is it the block? Is it the head? Like, what's special about that?
John?
Yeah, it's just the combination of the two parts. The block is a 2-liter that actually came out of a newer CRV, I think 99 2000, and then the head comes off of like a Civic Si 1.6-liter VTEC head, and you can mash them together because Hondas are like Legos.
Yes, they are.
So you get the extra displacement and torque with the 2-liter, and that works really well with the VTEC head. And it's definitely rev happy, but you got to keep the revs in check to make it survive. Like when we first started running this car, we ran it up to like 8,000, 8,500 RPM, but we've backed down to like 7,000 to keep it happy.
You can do the 8,000, 8,500 for the, sprint race, like 30-minute-ish, but 14 hours might need a little love.
Yeah.
So maybe not a turbo for the next time, but what kind of improvements are you planning for the next race?
And do turbos actually work on a racetrack for endurance?
Sure.
Have a lot of money, yes.
Yeah, on modern cars, yeah.
What's that?
It's a heat management thing.
Yeah, it's a heat management thing.
Yeah.
Lots of cooling and plenty of spares.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of parts.
Let's pretend Audra asked a question.
I'm sorry.
I did.
I know. I'm trying and control my overtired sweetie here.
I know.
So what are you guys going to do?
Fire me again if I didn't ask a question.
No. It was just going to cut your salary in half this time. You'll be back to where you started at 0.
Oh, great.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, if you want me to dock your pay, you can owe me. That's fine. Any changes for the cars coming up since you guys are now elevated? Finally Bomb Squad leaves C, and our Slow and Mellow friends get to find out what A's like.
I don't think we really have anything planned. Just kind of run it.
We're gonna hope for a really rainy Thompson race so we can beat all the rear-wheel drive BMWs.
Bring it.
What are the advantages that your Integra has just in general on its build on the track?
It's a really easy car to operate and drive. Just the way we have it set up, it's really stable. It's hard to get it to break loose or push in the corners, and you can kind of just point it and go. It does what you tell it to. It's easy. I kind of relate it to just like driving a go-kart. Anybody could really get in it and be pretty fast.
Is that what you guys did the car, or is that just this natural build?
I think naturally they're pretty good, but we've done quite a bit suspension-wise to make it the best it can be.
So just curious, what were your fastest laps? Were they like high 140s or
slower than yours?
I think John actually ran our fastest lap sometime Saturday, and I think it was a 145.
I think it was like a 145.9.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It wasn't. We're never like the fastest, but just staying on track kind of keeps us in the hunt. So, like if you look at Race Monitor and stuff, our fast lap is not competitive with like the top 20 cars, but it just works.
I can't even, the amount of times I've told the guys, like, it's not about the fastest lap.
Right.
It's about staying on track, staying out of trouble, turning laps. I mean, the winning formula for Lemons is easy. It's don't break the car, don't get any black flags, and that's it. It's like, and if you have a fast enough car.
Yep.
Coming from the guy who always has the fastest lap.
Well, that's just because I think I only have the fastest lap because I do a ton of work on the car, and I'm just like, F it. I'll just go balls to the wall here. I have an open lap. There's no traffic. I'm just going to see how good of a line I could run and see what happens. Whereas like maybe some of the other guys who aren't wrenching as much don't want to like risk it, where I'm like, F it, I'm just going to go for it. And that's what happens sometimes.
I'm going to have to fix it anyway. So.
Then when
I'm going to be the one fixing it. So.
But then when I crash, he's like, stop crashing the car.
Well, you don't work on it.
I work on making it go.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's do some math, Tim. You ready? You're a golfer. You're good at math. You cheat all the time.
I can count to 5.
Exactly. Sometimes 7, but we don't talk about those too much.
I've got to be a good golfer because I can only count to 5.
I saw he's pretty good with puppets. I saw on the Facebook this weekend.
We don't talk about Tim and puppets. That's the OnlyFans podcast.
So yeah, he's banned from a lot of places.
So Tim, if a stint, let's just say a stint is 60 laps. Let's just choose a nice round number. 60 laps.
That's a lot. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. So, or we'll do 50, even simpler. So Tim, 50 laps. If you run 50 laps and you're 2 seconds a lap faster, right? How many seconds did you save?
Versus, like, got to quantify the question. How many?
Well,
you save versus doing what?
Versus like if you just drove 2 seconds.
Getting a black flag and going to talk to the puppet.
Now we're gonna talk about the black flag time. So if I save 2 seconds a lap and I drove for 50 laps, I potentially have saved 100 seconds. Right. Right. Now, if I were to get a black flag for dipping a wheel off or for the slightest little bit of contact or something like that, how many seconds is a typical, like if you get a black flag, the first one, not the nice one, the easy one, not the later in the day that can be 30 minutes, but how many seconds is a black flag?
Well,
laps.
I'm not even going to count the time that it takes you to get off of the track and through the paddock to the penalty area. But if it's a car, I'll go a little bit into the hidden judge realm. But if it's a car that's got a terrible theme, like I might take my time in figuring out why you're there to begin with. So you might just sit there for a couple of minutes while I'm figuring out what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll come over and then I'll talk. So why are you here in my penalty box? And it's really fun when someone shows up and they're angry, because then you just pull a chair up and like, oh, tell me all about it. Why are you so angry? You dropped 2 wheels, but they flagged you for 4? Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Tell me more.
Somebody pushed my wheels off. It wasn't me.
Yeah. All of a sudden the track went to the right. So it really depends on, who's the nut behind the wheel, we'll say. It could be a fairly quick one. If a guy comes in and is like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I was doing something dumb and this and that. Their first one of the weekend. All right, well, don't be so dumb, get out of here. So it's a very big swing as to how much time it will take you if you do make a mistake and you get a black flag. So I would say it's anywhere.
So we can say that it's
anywhere from 5 minutes to 15.
Okay, so 5 times 60. If I take off my shoes, I can get to 300. Now, the fancy math signs, you've got the equal sign. That's like the 2 horizontal lines, right? Then there's the Pac-Man to the left and the Pac-Man to the right, and whatever the fancy words are for those things. Is 300 bigger or smaller than 100? I think I'm trying to remember. I got a lot of toes, but not that many.
I think it's the more larger number.
The bigger, yeah. So perhaps the bomb squad has discovered that the key is not to drive to the limit of yourself in the car, but perhaps leave a little margin and still beat everybody in C by 12 seconds. That's right. But that's fine.
I mean, I've been trying to explain this to the guys for 3 years.
So what happens to the other?
What, Derek?
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Well, you got to look at your guys too, Jay. I mean, it's going to take a lot to get through some of those skulls. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Derek. He's got a shaved head and a beautiful beard. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Are they twins? What's going on there? Are they just lovers? What's going on?
Is there a difference with those two?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, you're totally right, Bill. I mean, I think before Derek joined the team, we had a guy on the team that used to race a Subaru with like 300 horsepower or 400 horsepower. I don't know. But like race it in races that were like 20 laps, and I'd be like, this is like 400 laps, this race. And you need to get the car to this guy. And I want to drive the car because I work on it a lot. So don't spin out. Don't run into anybody. Don't come in for black flags. And he was like, well, I don't know how to drive slow. It's not fun if I'm not driving 100%. I'm like, well, then don't drive endurance racing. Go drive SCCA.
Somebody like that.
Go drive some other race. And he's not on the team anymore. I love him. He's a good guy, sweet guy. He's I still talk to him, but like, I want a guy on the team that's a team player. And Derek and John and Mark, they all know the score. And although we don't always, maybe we're not always on the same page and maybe we're not always playing the same game, but everyone's aware now of what it takes. And, now that we got the first win after 13 effing years, it's like, oh, we don't have to drive balls to the wall. It's just drive consistently and stay on the track. Oh, it's like something I've been telling them for 5 years, and they're just finally like getting it.
But Jay, you have to sprinkle in a little luck on the weekend, like everything. Sure. You have to have everything has to go right. You could race a perfect race, but someone can hit you. You could blow, something could break. It's just like, yes, we did all drum, like march to the same drum that day. We all did that, but we also sprinkled the fact in that we stayed out of trouble, which is really hard with that many cars on a very small track.
147. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was intense. It was like to stay out of trouble. It was like the most stressful part of the weekend for me. Like, and yeah, I'm telling you. And in penalty box talk, like, if he's right, like if you go in and you're just like, yo, I did this, and if the penalty box is having a really bad day, and you do something really like insignificant, you could be out of there in like 3 minutes. But like if you're in there 3-4 times, I've been told like you're back here, you're not driving the rest of the weekend. So it could go either way. But yeah, I get it though. Like driving slow sometimes, like you don't feel like you're really driving or racing. But then when you start to get in your head like, oh, there's a chance we could actually win, that starts to feel better than those little matches you get on the track. And most of the time I'm crashing is because I'm chasing Jay's lap time because he can't always have the fastest lap. So there's a little bit of that too.
So I know Bill's a big data guy, and I'm not. So I would never take the time to go through this process. But it's amazing to me that I've never heard anybody talk about what your number of laps per hour is. Like, if you want to talk about a matrix, that's important. Like, how many laps an hour are you turning? And if you're getting black flags, or you're like not managing traffic well, it doesn't matter how fast your fastest one is. You got one hero lap out there, like, okay, you can hang your hat on that, but whatever. If everything else is junk, it doesn't really matter. So like that's a really important statistic to be able to turn consistent laps. Like when I'm looking at people in my car, it's all right. Well, he's not setting the fastest laps, but he's 245, 243, 246, 245, 243, 243, right? And it's not wild swings, and it's consistent. There's no black flags. There's no crazy things. I don't have to worry about contact and replacing parts. Like as somebody that's trying to just stay in the hunt, which is what I think it requires to win a class. Like you just have to stick around and see what happens. That's really important.
And we're not talking about driving slow. We're just not talking about driving 10 tenths or 10.1 tenths or really 9.9 tenths or, using
that's true.
85%.
But not even that. Like at NJMP, we turned like consistently good lap times. Like it wasn't that we were driving slow. I won't say slow, but like, those couple times you want to push it a little bit, like you just don't. You just stay in your groove and you keep hitting those numbers, a second off or whatever. And that actually works a lot better in this type of racing.
Well, I mean, like.
No, were there any black flags in New Jersey?
We got one.
Yep. And that was it. You ran it out pretty quickly.
I think I was like, from the time I got off the track till the time I got back on the track was under 4 minutes. Like I went in there and they were just like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I got 2 wheels off." They're like, "They're flagging you for 4 wheels." I was like, "Impossible," because like my wheels were like on the pavement. Like I know that, and they were like, "No, don't worry." He's like, "The shit we've been dealing with all day here, just get out of here," And I was just out right away, and there was no one in front of me. There was no one in the box. It was just like perfect storm, So I got in. I just basically rolled in, talked to him for under a minute, and rolled right back out on track.
So Jay, I'm just saying, I know I've heard of teams where they have a policy that if you get a black flag that's not for mechanical, you are getting out of the car.
No, Derek just owes John and I $500 each.
Okay, that works too.
Now it's 500. It was 500 total. Now Jay has J math. Let me tell you, Jay has his own math.
He's got to get a turbo somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Derek, I thought it was 500 each.
Course,
okay, whatever.
Course.
Whatever.
First turbo's on me.
Yeah, first turbo. Yeah. Anyway, Yeah, good times.
So Slow and Mellow. You
Yeah,
guys,
nothing like being on the radio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow and Mellow, you guys get any black flags? Now you
What's
had a
that?
real theme. Slow and Mellow, get any black flags? Would not have a real theme. They
No,
Zero.
no black flags.
see, you get a real theme, and the endurance racing gods, they come back and they take care of you.
Maybe that's what Brooklyn Bomb Squad needs for Class B win is a good theme.
Maybe.
Red is
Listen,
not.
we've been working on that theme for years.
Red is not a theme.
Did Jay say we were working? We've never even had talks of a theme. Maybe in the new car.
Yeah,
like for the new car.
What's the new car?
That turbo is not going to stay together that long anyway, so you don't even need to worry about it.
You could probably theme that race. You'll be theming at the track.
Well, hopefully we can just
Jeremy.
get it on.
This is one of our
track.
sponsors, by the way. 291 Bourbon. He's a sponsor. I'm going to just imbibe a little bit here with our sponsor.
My goodness.
Oh fuck! I gotta undo
Sponsors.
Well, then your car better.
Yeah, C car wins by 12
seconds. 291, and you better bring that stuff to the judges, and then just lean into that.
Yeah.
Bill, you mean 12? Bill, do you mean 12 laps or 12 seconds? Because 12 seconds is not win.
No, 12 seconds a lap. So C car wins by 12 seconds a lap and has sponsors. What's wrong with this picture, people?
And no theme.
And no theme.
These are like old friends of ours that have like a bourbon distillery in Colorado, like a butcher shop in Brooklyn. We just get like meat and bourbon from these guys. It's perfect. But you know, it's definitely helpful when we bring the bourbon to the races and we bribe them with like, you know, award-winning bourbon. I have 9 bottles sitting over there. I don't know if you can see it.
That's perfect. There's 9 of us here.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, works out great.
Yeah. I'll just send everybody a bottle. But yeah, I mean, the bourbon's a super helpful, you know, thing. And I know Jeremy poo-poos our 16 valve turbo, but you know, once I get all the air bubbles out and it doesn't overheat, I'll run the piss out of that thing.
I just want to drive it before it blows up.
It's 10 pounds of boost. It's so fast. It's crazy. It's insane. So we'll see what happens. New Hampshire. Be it New Hampshire, you'll see a crazy fast Volkswagen for at least a couple of laps.
Was it going to be dressed up like a pig or like some other piece of cattle that your sponsor going to put their name on the side of? Like, you should have it all fuzzy with the brand on the quarter.
Oh, that'd be good. Oh, that'd be great.
Like, there's so many ways you could do it. You got to just do it.
So Tim, what we've been toying with is we've been nicknaming with the nickname of the car is the golf cart. And so what we're going to do is like, I mean, in my head, like I wanted to do it.
Which means like, nothing is going to get done, but that's fine.
Nothing that will get done team-wise at all.
He's just trying to suck up the Tim with a golf theme.
I had a theme in my head.
No, but seriously, you know? The golf cart theme will be like, there'll be a ball washer on one side, a bottle opener on the other. There'll be...
You're going to mount Jeremy to your car?
Is it a ball washer he is? I guess so.
Something. There's fluids involved.
If you pop open the hatch in the back, there'll be a small little putting green that pops out, and we'll have like several like, you know, putt-putt golf clubs to hit into the different holes on the putting green.
I have a putting green for you, dude.
Perfect.
This is
you don't need to go any further.
100%.
In addition to that, so you should rent from a local, whichever track you're running, rent from a local golf cart company or golf course. Their golf beverage cart.
Ooh.
Fill it with beers and bourbon, and drive it around at night, but then give it to the judges to drive around as a judge mobile, and that will change your entire weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Zero chance. Zero chance this is going to happen. Any of this.
Oh,
It's not going to happen. So before we move to the next wonderful questions, we had asked earlier what everybody changed this weekend, and well, you were very quiet. So Ethan and John said they didn't really change much, but behind the scenes, did you notice that they changed anything, or did anything different for this race than they have in the past that led to the awesome victory?
Idea, and they're like, "Oh, let's do this." I'm like, "How about it runs? Don't touch it. Just go and race and figure it out." And so far, they've done that, so it's working. They have all these ideas to change things, and they want to make it faster. They want to do this, and I was like, "How about you just don't change anything until it breaks, because it's eventually going to happen with everybody." But
that's very good advice.
Ethan, how many guys did you have driving last week?
Just the two of us.
What?
Just the two of us.
Yeah,
it's just been the two of us.
You and John,
for quite a while now.
It's just been the two of us for what, a year and a half almost now?
Yeah, year and a half.
Yeah.
The two of us.
Yeah.
Basically, since we put the fuel cell in the car.
How big of a fuel cell?
22 gallon.
How big are your kidneys?
Pretty big.
They just pee in the seat, man.
You just don't think about it. You don't think about
Pee your pants. It's fine.
Do you do 3-hour stints each?
We can do up to 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah, we only did one stop on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday was one stop.
Yeah.
Saturday was 2.
Yeah.
We had Jennifer call in after like an hour. She's like, "I have to pee." I'm like, "Go ahead."
Yeah, totally. Everyone's
I actually called back in on her towards the end of her stint, and I'm like, "How you doing?" She goes, "I got to pee." Seriously, I think she got out of that car and ran.
How long did she make it?
She made it the whole way.
Right at 2 hours. She was close.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Jennifer's is still our developing more so racer. And I think she doesn't get.
She hasn't worked out her coffee balance to driving time ratio yet, you know.
Yeah. And plus that was her first time in first stint.
All right, well, let's do a typical, very typical question, which can have some fantastic answers. So what were the good, the bad, and the ugly, or just a good story for the weekend if there was no ugly, which there generally won't be if you win. So ready, go.
We'll do slow and mellow
Ethan,
first.
go ahead and start.
Good, bad, and ugly, huh?
Good, you won.
Yeah, I mean the winning was cool, but my other good was probably Ricky and the Waka Boys finally completing a race.
I know, that was amazing.
I
think they did 3 head gaskets or 4 head gaskets. I can't remember.
During
the weekend,
the same head gasket over and over, just for practice.
Yeah, you get good at it after a while.
Yeah, sooner or later you figure it out, you know. Good, bad, and ugly. I don't know what was bad and ugly.
I don't think it really was. I don't think it really was any bad or ugly.
I mean, if you don't have any, you can have a story time.
We like stories.
Story for the week.
Yeah, I mean, the only like bad and ugly was probably just like the last hour when I was in the car on Sunday, just knowing that I was ahead and thinking of all the things that can go wrong, because you know we work on cars for a living, so just everything's going through your head, every little noise, bump, rattle, everybody you see coming up that you don't trust because you know how they drive, or the ones you do trust.
I'm right here, dude. What the hell?
that was probably the stressful part of the weekend for me, just that last hour on Sunday.
Any good weekend stories?
Good weekend stories.
They don't have to be good. They just have to be a good story. Could be somebody else. Could have seen somebody else's fortune or misfortune.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I have a good one, and I'm just gonna encourage, maybe give you a plant. I like when Jeremy hopped in our car to race against his truck, and his times were better than their truck for his own team.
And he passed them for position.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
We
you
were
passed your own damn
we were
team.
Well, we were up 5 laps to them, and then by the end of my stint, we were down 1 lap to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Saturday afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So I thought you were in the truck, and I was at the pit exit, all the cars coming off pit road. I thought you were in your truck. I had a bottle of water. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get Jeremy because right there. I threw a water bottle like right in your guy's face. I thought it was you. It's like, oh man, that was not Jeremy.
He turned around and he's like, that was not Jeremy. I feel so bad. I'm like,
He drank it. Don't worry.
No, just to be clear, he
just
loved
the
it.
water.
No, just to be clear, he loved it. He was like,
That's
that
good.
was the most refreshing thing ever.
Right?
Yeah, because I
Jeremy
remember he had
got
his
me,
helmet off, and
Jeremy got me at the end of the day on Sunday with, I don't remember if it was water or Gatorade, but he damn near knocked my contact lenses out of my face.
it was water. I gave it to him. I was like, Jeremy, throw this in his face. And then, of course, he comes back. He goes, who threw that in my face? I said, I'll give you one guess. And he's like, fucking Jeremy.
I'm like crawling through the crowd and trying to like put a contact lens back in.
With the helmet on. That's awesome. All right, here comes Bomb Squad's chance at this. Good, bad,
Jay.
ugly.
Yeah, I mean, story-wise, I mean, we were so mellow and kind of
Were you
innocuous.
slow and mellow?
We weren't
Nice.
super slow.
They were fast and mellow.
Yeah, we were quick and mellow. I dare not call our car fast. But like Ethan was saying, the last hour was stressful. I mean, I've been doing this since 2011, and what we've been doing lately, because I'm tired of not getting to drive in the car after these guys fuck it up all the time. Usually we've been doing John first, me second, and then we throw Derek or Mark in last, or whatever. So John and I always get to drive. After New Hampshire last year of not driving on Sunday, after rebuilding the entire car from from Thompson after they blew the motor up, I was like, I'm not driving after Derek anymore. So when we, like, knowing the car as well as I do, and after it did as well as it did on Saturday, we made the decision, like, okay, I'll go last because it'll be sort of, it'll be great for me to go through the checkered last, and bring in the checkered. So John drove great. He fucking drove fast all of a sudden. Never saw that before. And then Derek drove super mellow. I just kept watching the times. I'm like, hey, just no risky driving, Derek. No risky driving. Like every 15 minutes, I was on the radio with Derek. And then
it was like my dad.
And then I got in the car and I was like, oh my. And then I got in the car and I was like, oh my God, I can't F this up. I have to drive really good. And then I'm like, oh, there's the Audi coupe. There's Ray. He's driving. Let's keep up with him. Let's pass him. I don't want to get passed by that guy. So then I pass him and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I even racing anybody right now? We're up like 18 laps. But it was the most stressful 2 hours that I've ever been in the car, in 13 years of driving this stuff. And I mean, I was like missing shifts. I was like doing the dumbest stuff you've ever seen in your life. And it was probably the worst stint I've ever had in my life. If you looked at my lap times, they were like 152, 158, 150, they were all over the place. And I just kept watching the clock. We have like a egg timer on the dashboard that we program in. And I was just like, can this go any slower, the clock? And I'm just like, okay, 8 minutes left. Do not mess up. I just like, don't even shift into third gear. Just go into fourth. Like, don't mess up. And that was my whole mantra that I keep telling myself, like, turn the cool suit on, like, chill out, relax, just drive. And it was like, I mean, I was all over the place. And it was just like, don't mess up and bring the car in, like, Ethan was saying. And, and then when the checkered flag went, I was like freaking crying and like, oh my God, this has been a long time coming. But it was pretty amazing, to finally win a race after all this time.
I'm feeling all emotional, but I just have to say, get the fuck out of C. We're sick of you in there.
Oh, man.
Hey, this is a family-friendly program.
I'm going to bleep it. Don't worry. I got you covered.
I'm trying not to say F-bombs and new stuff, but whatever.
I felt really happy for Jay, to be honest with you, because I was like, he's been doing this how long? And he's never never won? I was like, I couldn't believe it. But then, like, when I started doing it, I realized, like, all right, this isn't simple. This is hard. But when we won, I was like, oh, man, this guy must be like, John's like, Jay's going to shit himself. He's probably crying in his helmet right now. I was like, definitely. I was like, definitely.
Totally. Bawling.
We were like,
I got it back.
Yeah. On Saturday night, I got to say, we were so different because normally, like, we're up camping late, drinking, hanging out, talking shit, and like, yeah, we get polluted. And then, like, Saturday night comes along, we ate dinner, we're all like sitting at the campfire. We're like, no, we didn't even start a campfire. We're just like, we're going to bed. We all just like went to bed. We went to bed at like 10 o'clock. We're like, let's get ready for tomorrow,
That's awesome.
I have to say, like, trying to win isn't fun.
No,
it is not fun at all.
It's not at all fun.
It takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
Go have a good time.
So much fun.
Go have a good time. And if at Sunday at like 10:30 or 12, you're in the hunt, all right, get serious about it. But otherwise, it kind of ruins the weekend. When you go in trying to win, like, it's okay if you want to like set a program and run a program and do the things. That's fine. But like, what are you gonna win? You're gonna win a piece of wood with some paint on it. Like, let's be honest, it's lemons.
You're going to donate the winning prize money anyway. So what's the big deal?
Yes.
And even if you keep the prize money, you still lost money on the race. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, winning makes, like, or trying to be in the hunt to win makes it a different weekend for sure. But, like, to focus in and have that weekend at least once is worth, like, cutting back and just having, like, a goal in mind,
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, for all the ones that I've done over these last couple of years with the guys, like, I mean, yeah, this feels good, but, like, nothing's going to be as good as, like, Pittsburgh the first year I went where we were trash. We had it was, like, crazy. We were just, like, that was fun.
Yes. Yes.
That was a lot of fun, and that was super memorable. That's where I met Jeremy, and, like,
Jeremy had a big accident that weekend.
Yeah, he had a huge accident. And that was crazy because Jeremy was like, look.
That's right.
He's like telling me, he's like, all you want to do, he's like, you want to be predictable. If you're in your lane, stay there. So all weekend, like, running, I was just like, I had him in my ear, like, be predictable. Don't do anything stupid. And that's what I did. I stayed in my lane and, just turned laps in my own world. And then I get off the track and I see his car, like, smashed halfway in on a flatbed. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't listen
Right?
to that guy.
that was a crazy weekend anyway.
Definitely don't listen.
That weekend was absolutely insane. I think
that was
most of
good.
most of the weekend was yellow flags.
Oh, I mean, there was snow on the track.
There was only
2 hours.
40% cold that weekend.
Yeah.
What's that?
It was only 40% cold that weekend, though.
Oh my gosh.
It was 80% party, I'll tell you that.
80% party. My God.
Well, I mean, you got to make up the rest of the 100%. So 40 plus 80. I mean, geez, come on.
Yeah, that's what Cooper called his chimichurri sauce for like 2 years.
Yeah.
40% cold, 80% party, or something like that.
Yep.
Like something crazy like
Then he
that.
had stickers made.
Everything he owned.
Oh yeah.
I still have those
Everything
stickers
John
that I'm
owned,
still
There were
putting on
stickers
stuff.
made, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They made stickers.
It's
my
so
God.
lemons too. It's such a lemons thing.
I'm not even kidding. I want to say I've seen one of those stickers at a toll plaza on my way home.
I hope so.
It's probably
I am not kidding. I wish I took a picture.
Yeah, Robin had a whole lot of stuff made after that weekend. I think we still have a sticker on our car from that too.
And if you don't and you need one, come see me. I still have enough, and I'm trying to get Robin back to the track so badly.
Oh man.
He's a riot.
Yeah.
I wish that everybody on this podcast was there that night that all that stuff was said, because Tim can attest it was unbelievable.
It was like, people throw the word epic around. No. This was truly epic. Yeah. If he comes to another race, I'm bringing a pallet of Surge.
Oh my God.
that was a nightmare weekend.
Oh,
But we made it. It's fine.
Audra, you're up.
She's on. She's on. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's gone now.
You typed
Yeah.
her name there.
Looks like I'm up.
I was paying attention. You should try it.
Wow.
I always spell Audra with a
y-
J.
The thing is, I would love to try it, but I don't want to stand around for 10 hours just to drive 1 minute and 33 seconds.
Yeah, but that's only your first
Here we
time.
go.
You get to go a couple more times.
Oh, okay. All right. So boys, I know we've been talking about it. Upcoming races. What do you guys have planned for the rest of the year? If anything, or next year, what do you guys have coming next?
Who's first?
Slow and Mello. Ethan,
Mellow.
John.
There's only two of you. You should know this.
Yeah,
We'll be-
Thompson in August, Lemons, and then in September the bracket GP.
All
Where's
right.
that?
Thompson. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
a bracket. It's a bracket race. Good time.
Yeah, real good time.
And then New Hampshire for Lemons in October.
Awesome. So 3 more for the season. Nice. All right. How about Brom Squad? What are you guys thinking?
The Brooklyn Bomb Squad will be, I believe right now the plan is for Derek, Mark, and John to do Thompson. I have to do a baseball tournament in Cooperstown with my son, so I won't be at Thompson. And then New Hampshire. So I'm actually moving to Philadelphia, the suburbs of Philadelphia, in July. I've lucked out, and I've got the golf cart with the 2-liter ABA bottom end 16 valve turbo. That car is at Scope Creep Racing's shop in Pennsylvania, and it's 40 minutes from my house that we'll be living at in the suburbs of Philly. So the plan is to let those guys race the GTI in Thompson, and then if the GTI is alive, if it's ready to go, we'll race that in New Hampshire. But we're also going to race the golf, the Mark II golf in Thompson for the first year, or sorry, in New Hampshire for the first time, which is 2.5 years in the making. So that's kind of the plan for that. I mean, the car runs and drives. We've been tuning it and testing it, and we decided to pull the coolant, the antifreeze out, and throw in water. And we have a huge air bubble somewhere in the motor. So once we sort that out, we're gonna, get it on track and see what it does. There's a couple pieces we have to put back, put in it, but it's pretty freaking quick. Maybe like Honda quick. So we'll see what happens.
Lies.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, all our guests were winners for the weekend, and all the hosts were losers.
Did you say this was a wieners episode? I mean, winners episode?
I believe so. Congratulations, both teams. Job well done.
What? Real quick, what did you guys finish overall? I forgot to ask that.
Third
overall?
Third overall?
Yeah.
Cow.
Jay,
That's
what did you guys
amazing.
finish?
I think we were 16th overall.
Which is still amazing.
Yeah, for a little VW Rabbit out of 147 cars. But third overall, that's freaking amazing. I mean, that's ahead of a lot of fast cars. The
almost all
Aspen, yeah. I mean, pretty much all but two.
A lot of it I think comes down to the fuel cell thing too.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
That's
and you guys 2 drivers that's a good situation in some capacity too.
Yeah.
Yep. It's impressive.
That's awesome. That's
Ethan
awesome.
definitely drove a lot on Saturday. Ethan had 2 stints Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have a 22-gallon fuel cell in the Rabbit, and with the current air fuel ratio mixture, I think we can get 3+ hours per stint per tank. And it's just a matter of like finding the guys that want to run 3+ hours to do it. Yeah, exactly, Jeremy. Right. I mean, I'll run 3 hours anytime. You give me 3 hours.
You can't run 30 minutes without having to go to the bathroom.
Listen, my name's not Mark Andrew. I'll piss in my suit. I don't care. Like
just put him in last. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
There's holes in that board at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like when we were changing drivers from John to when we were getting John out of the car, he didn't even come and help with the driver change. He just ran out of the car and right into the porta-john off the fire pit. And I'm sitting there with putting fuel. Where the hell's John? I look over and he comes out of the porta-john. I was like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? We got to get Jay in the car. And he's just like putting his suit back on. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey.
But that's all the chatter on our radio. It's mostly, I got to go to the bathroom.
If you don't get pulled in for a gas leak, you could have stayed out there. It's fine.
Wear a diaper. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Put on a depend and wear a diaper and just keep going.
So we've been trying to
Jeremy,
get you guys on.
You've worn a diaper.
He's wearing one right now.
Yeah, I'm wearing one right now. So I think this is pretty good. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an honor to have everybody on. Bill, you got something else?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we mentioned our sponsor, Depends, for this episode. We're glad that they support the podcast and pay us $0. So.
And we do have a discount code if you go to Walgreens to get your Depends. We do have a discount for you.
Yeah. Just tell them GHiT sent you, and they'll look at you with a weird looking thing.
Have either one of you guys been on a podcast before?
Never.
Never.
Me
Did
neither.
Bill already tell you how it works?
On a Zoom, so I had to teach him how to Zoom. So.
Yeah, this is my first Zoom, so.
Okay.
Same.
It's a good thing you're pretty.
I don't do Zoom.
I had to teach him. I do like 10 a day. I'm like, this is how you do it.
So basically, we just sit here to shit. We'll ask a few questions. You guys will answer questions, whatever. And at the end, and this is what I did not know in my first podcast because Bill never told me, but at the end, when we all say goodbye, don't close out. Don't end the meeting. Don't leave it.
They can. I can't.
He's just saying goodbye to end the podcast.
Gotcha.
And then we babble on for however long we want.
Sounds good.
I mean, now I got $5 that says Bomb Squad blows us off again.
Audra's coming in.
Oh, you meant Tuesday with the T, not Tuesday with the number 2. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, today's Monday.
Whatever. It's definitely been a Monday. Audra.
Hi, Audra.
Hey, how's it going?
I
Wonderful.
don't know.
How are you?
I don't know how I'm going to make fun of autocross during this one, but I'll come up with a way, Audra. Don't worry. It'll be fine.
I count on it, Bill. I count on it every time.
Every time.
We will figure it out.
That's right.
Mhm. Don't you get in on that action there, Jeremy Hall?
Listen, you got a car share coming to your way there, Butt Day. She's volunteered the M2 and you volunteered the truck. You guys are autocrossing parties.
Oh, we're going to autocross them both. It's going to be awesome.
I need video of the Hefe autocrossing because I think that's going to be hilarious.
And Nick's going to bring the Macan GTS and we're going to autocross that too.
Oh, that's at least an autocross car.
You got autocross a truck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Oh
pickup.
boy. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
It's got a name now?
It's going to be awesome. So they've always called it El Jefe.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is Derek.
There we
It
go.
is.
Hey, hey, there's Jay too.
I lost $5. I knew Bomb Squad would blow us off, but they're here.
No, guys, come on.
Oh God, Jay.
There was no way they'd ever come on until they won. Oh, look at that. It's true. They wouldn't come on until they won.
I got oh, there's everybody.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I'm just in. Can you guys hear me or am I on mute?
No, you're fine.
Nope, we got you.
You're still driving home there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm about 5 minutes from home, so I figure I'd check in and see what's going on.
No worries.
How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Is that a microphone in front of Jeremy?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm pro at this. This
He
is
is.
my other job.
That's right. He's our top paid podcast host.
Oh my gosh, you must make tens of dollars doing this.
Yeah, minus 10.
Everybody makes the same amount. We're unanimous in the $0 and 0 cents. So
Yeah, same with the Wrenching to Race YouTube channel that never airs a new video.
the last podcast was really good though. We did double Audra's pay, so she's up to 0.
Oh, I feel honored.
That's right.
Actually, thought you were going to fire me, but
Nope.
yeah, I
Nope.
couldn't take the pay cut.
Nope.
Well, keep bragging about how great autocross is and you will be fired.
Oh my God! Wow, we're hitting it hard tonight.
Oh, wait till she gets her W-2 for $0 this year. She's gonna be shocked as shit.
That'll be amazing.
Where's
Yeah, I'm
Cooper?
so
Is he coming
shocked.
on?
Cooper's in California. He said he was going to try.
What about Mark Andrew? Did you ever forward this to Mark, Derek?
Why is that my job? No.
It's only your job because I asked you to do it because I was running around trying to put a screen in a screen door. I'd never done that before. It's not easy, guys.
No,
Wow, we got
That's fun.
everybody.
I know.
Hi, Vicki.
Hi.
Okay, so listen, we had at one time we had 16 people on a podcast. That was a show.